Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Oh my God, it's beautiful out there, and I like to say it's a great day for networking. So if you want to get yourself heard on the show, just give us a call here at 602-277-5369. We'll get you hooked up with me so you can get yourself heard on the show. I'm going to go in with my first guest. He's been on before with me a few years ago now. I have Paul Ruth, and he is the owner of Mojo Physio. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Carol. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, tell everybody what it is that you do.
Well, it's pretty simple. We get people out of pain.
Thank you.
Our clients are typically people who've done everything, been everywhere, or think they've done everything, and they're still stuck in chronic pain.
Okay, why is that?
Well, what we do that's completely different than most things in the medical field is we're muscle specialists. So it's kind of overlooked in the medical field as a whole, because when you get an injury or an imbalance in your body, they tend to treat you where you hurt. And your brain does two simple things when you get an injury. Let's say you injure your shoulder, your brain kicks into gear and it protects the shoulder by spasming muscle and then compensating for the spasm. So you start to favor the area that hurts. You sprain your ankle, you limp. It only takes about 3 weeks for that favored pattern to take over, and it builds these really, simple muscle imbalance patterns throughout your body from head to toe. So we really specialize in getting in there. It's a hands-on treatment that we go head to toe and palpate you or touch your body, and it tells us exactly where we need to go.
Okay. Now, you're offering for everybody, listen up, everyone. You're getting entered in to win a chronic therapy session, chronic pain therapy session, I should say. Okay. How long is a session?
Each session is an hour. Mm-hmm. Once we get you to a point where you're pretty sustainable, you can do half-hour treatments, but the majority of clients come back for a monthly tune-up.
Okay. But everybody's getting entered in to win a 1 hour
session.
And what's the the cost of that normally?
It's an $89 fee.
Okay. So it's a $90. It's a $90
fee.
So it is. That's free to you. And if you don't think you need something like this, maybe you're okay. But you know what? There's always somebody. A lot of people out there are in pain in this world today. And a lot of people have just reached their furthest to find that they'll go anywhere at this point because they cannot get help. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone is getting entered in to win. It's a $90 value, free to you. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. They can check you out on your website, which is Mojo Physio, which is spelled PHYSIO. .com. Your number direct, it's 480-922-4499. But call in here, get yourself entered in to win one of these 1 hour chronic therapy pain sessions at 602-277-5369. Okay, so is this different than some of the other different pain specialists out there?
It's completely different. Most pain management practices are focused primarily on a Band-Aid solution in terms of injections at the site of pain. And there's nothing wrong with that because in many cases it helps with the immediate kind of acute phase of the pain, but it's temporary. And almost everybody we see and everybody who's experienced that, myself included, you know that it comes back. So pain management practices, to me, is an oxymoron. We believe in pain-free management. It's actually pretty easy to get somebody pain-free. It's the management comes in keeping them pain-free, because to manage something is to manage something constant. So why manage constant pain rather than, we believe in getting you pain-free and managing it from that perspective.
Right, getting rid of it.
It just makes sense, getting rid of it and managing you from a pain-free standpoint.
Okay, now you have a 95% success rate. Why is that?
Because we focus on muscle. And if you look at, there is no doctor or no specialty of muscle within the medical field. The closest thing you're going to get is physical therapy. And although physical therapy is fantastic, it was never designed for chronic long-term pain. It's designed for post-operative and post-traumatic rehab. So if you have a major surgery, major trauma, you go to physical therapy and they get you back in the game. And that's what it's for. But unfortunately, most people go to their general practitioner with back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, and they send them to physical therapy, and then they kind of get stuck in the system. A lot of them will get some relief, but we tend to specialize and end up with the clients who haven't really received any relief or minimal relief or relief that comes back.
Don't get stuck in the system.
Don't get stuck.
Now, we are starting to get our calls. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone is getting entered in to win. It's a 1 hour, it's a chronic pain therapy, muscle therapy. You get in there.
It's a muscle therapy. People want to think, or they ask, is this a massage?
I was just going to ask you that.
I'm also a mind reader, by the way. The only similarity to massage is that our hands are on you doing the therapy. Our office is similar in looks to a PT office, physical therapy. It's an open floor setting. Everything we do is fully clothed. We don't use lotions, oils. It's a hands-on treatment done through whatever clothing you come in. We do recommend people wear something, comfortable, like something they'd work out in, shorts and a T-shirt. But everything's fully clothed in an open setting, which is a little different than people are used to. But that, again, there's nothing really similar to massage in terms of traditional massage. Our hands do the work. It's all manual therapy. We don't use machines. There's no pills. There's no shots. It's all identifying where you have all these very specific patterns in your body and simply getting into the therapy to release them.
And it's a 95% success rate.
Yes.
Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's getting entered in to win an hour therapy session with him. And that is a $90 value free to you. Now, the website is mojophysio.com, and his number direct, it's 480-922-4499. Okay, let's go further here. You've got a program here that you want to talk about. It's a corporate back-to-work program. What's that mean?
Well, within the corporate world, corporate wellness has become kind of a big industry, and it's really not the return on investment is what corporations look for when you look at wellness programs. But unfortunately, most of them don't really have a solid ROI model in that it's an intangible. They make employees happy with certain programs. What we offer is an on-site program which literally gives them tangible return on their investment. So, for example, we have a client we see downtown Phoenix who's a major aerospace company. We've been in there for 5 years, and we've saved them, by their own records, in upwards of $8 million on workman's comp avoidance. So we're a buffer. You hurt your back on the job, you see a triage nurse, and they send them to our program. If we weren't in there, they'd send them to a clinic, and it's an OSHA recordable, and now workman's comp claim is open. So we have a huge niche within that market. It really doesn't exist, that buffer that we offer. So we're kind of at the beginning of growing into that business model. We're actually changing our whole business into this model because there's such a need for it. And, everybody has some sort of chronic pain.
When you go into these corporate offices, where do you do it then?
Wherever they have room for us.
You have to make room for that.
Sometimes they will, in several of the accounts we have, they actually create a room. They'll clear out
The bathroom is fine with me if it makes me feel better.
If there's room to put up a table, we can stick a therapy table in the corner, and we can do the work.
Right. Now, are you valley-wide with that? I know you're just starting, but will you be valley-wide with that?
Yeah, we have several locations around the valley now. All the locations corporately are all for the corporation only. Our main clinic is in the Scottsdale Air Park, and we have a satellite location in Core CrossFit, which is downtown.
Okay, so our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. If you are in chronic pain, if you have gone to the furthest extent and you're just beside yourself, try this. This is something that is helps you get pain-free. There is no medicine involved, so it's obviously safe, and it is also, I like to say that you can help people without using medicine, getting to the root of the problem. Again, our number here is open here. We're going to keep on calling. When we come back, we want to talk further about some of the different programs you have. It's a $90 value free, or to you or to someone you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check them out. It's mojophysio.com. We'll be back in just a minute.
if I traded it all. If I
So we're
gave
talking
it
with Paul
all
Ruth.
away for
He is the owner of Mojo Physio, and we were talking at the break that you have a 95% success rate. Tell them again for people who missed it what you do.
Well, we get people out of pain who don't seem to get relief anywhere else.
Okay, and how do you do it?
We do the hands-on therapy. It's called neuromuscular release therapy.
And your T-shirt says that you fix chronic pain when others can't.
Yes.
Okay, and why is
People
that?
think that's a little arrogant on our part, but hey, why not? Because we do it every day. People don't believe our success rate. And the success rate comes with an explanation, to be honest. I mean, 100% of people that come in get help on some degree. We try to keep it simple because you can get very complex with the nervous system and the brain, how the brain interacts with the muscle. Excuse me. But everybody gets help to some degree. 95% success rate, and that's 20 years I've been doing this, is to a point where we can sustain that 95%. Like I said earlier, in the pain management, there is no miracle out there for pain relief. I'm sorry. You know, you can get a shot that can take care of it for now, but there's nothing that's permanent. So we teach and educate every one of the clients to stay good, and we give them the tools to go home and do certain things with foam rollers or using little balls to do release work. If they do what we teach them, they could stay away from us forever. But we're dealing with humans, and most humans have lazy streaks, and most humans won't do the stuff we get them to do at home because we've already done it in the office. If we take them from a level 10 pain to 2, they don't want to do the stuff we get them to do. So we give them all the tools to do everything on their own and make their own choice. We like to shift the responsibility of their recovery on them. We're professionals. We're like other professionals who treat them, but we want to empower them to, to kind of live a future without the need for people like us.
And we have our lines open here, and everyone who's calling in, you are getting entered in to win a 1-hour chronic pain therapy session. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. This is a $90 value, free to you or to someone that you know. That's what I like about this show, too, that it's not just who you're talking to, but who they know as well. I tell you, I know I was in chronic pain for a long time. So I know how that feels. And also I want to go back to real quickly, because I know you were talking about your corporate back to work program. Talk about that real quickly, too.
Well, the Back to Work program is a very simple, innovative, non-invasive treatment for any employee that a company may be dealing with, either directly with workman's comp or maybe just have some, chronic pain issues at the office place that maybe not be related to their job. So we put a therapist on site, and by having the therapist on site, it makes it very accessible to every employee and very convenient. All the employer has to do is give them the 30 minutes. We usually tailor to 30-minute sessions on site. But what we're doing is we're saving the company millions of dollars potentially on very expensive workman's comp claims. MSDs, or musculoskeletal disorders, it's 80% of all workman's comp claims out there. And it basically means it's a muscle problem. And as I said earlier, there is no doctor of muscle, no specialty of muscle. No doctor's going to ever talk to you about muscles the way we do. And everything we do is based on pure science and physiology. So none of this is my theory or any kind of theory based on anything other than pure science. So with having this available to employees on site, it's not only saves the company tons of money, but it also makes the employees really happy to be sitting at their work pain-free.
And again, you could check them out on mojophysio.com. Their number direct, it's 480-922-4499, or give us a call here at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're getting entered in to win a 1-hour therapy session. It's a $90 value, free to you. Okay, what about this? You also have an athletic performance. What is that?
Well, this time of year, especially since the weather's breaking, everybody is becoming more active. They're getting outside. They're getting back into running or what have you. And they'll end up getting little aches or pains here and there. But what's really specific about what we do is how the brain reacts to any kind of function. So as I said earlier, when you get an injury, your brain spasms muscle to protect it. You could have an injury falling off your tricycle at 5 years old and still be stuck in a lot of those patterns that your brain has rewired your muscle system to protect you. So when we do our exam, we call it body mapping. We go from head to toe, and it's very high tech. We put X's on a body chart. And the X's are where you have hot spots in your body. And a hot spot is an area where your brain is actively protecting that spot for whatever reason it's protecting it. By us, when we identify it, it not only identifies where you have the imbalance in the muscle, but it will pinpoint exact limitations and discrepancies in performance levels. So, for example, golf. I have a huge niche in the golf market. I worked with the PGA Tour for 5 years back in the 90s, and I was a pain relief guy. But what it started doing to players, it was completely changing their swing for the better, but they couldn't understand what was going on. But I'm removing imbalance within the muscle they don't know is there. So from an athlete perspective, you don't know what you don't know is kind of what we say. And after we do our assessment, you know so much more about your body in literally 15 minutes than you've ever known, but from a functional standpoint.
So again, when somebody comes to you and they're going to get one of these sessions, what does it look like? You do a free consultation with people?
We don't do a free consultation, but this is one of the things I've had since I started my practice 20 years ago. Because people have been everywhere and done everything and tried it all, they're always skeptical. So they end up in my office broke and skeptical because they've spent all their money on everything else.
So you made it affordable?
We made it affordable as we could. But here's the kicker. If you come in and get the treatment and you don't like it, it's on us. So there's literally nothing to hold you back. There's a lot of skeptics that go, wait a minute, 95% can't be real. All you're going to do is work on my muscle, and I already have a great massage guy. Well, keep your massage guy because it's not what we're doing. I already have this kind of guy. Well, you're in my office in pain right now. So,
what's not working?
Let us do what we do. If you don't like it, you don't pay. And in all honesty, and I'm not saying this, I've never had anybody not pay. And it's not that we fix everybody, but it's with integrity. We give them a really detailed session. They leave kind of blown away. They're really a little bit beside themselves with how much sense it makes.
But they also get educated.
They get educated. That's the biggest part of what we do. Sure, the therapy is great and it works, but for them to understand what's really happening in their body, it explains. They might come in with one shoulder issue, but it explains their 10-year low back problem that they didn't tell me about because the shoulder is the hottest thing for today. So it really unveils a lot of stuff that they've had since, they were younger.
They fix chronic pain when other people can't. Their phone number is 480-922-4499. That website is mojophysio.com. And I'm going to let everybody keep on calling throughout the rest of the show for this. It's a 1-hour chronic pain therapy session, and it's a $90 value free to you. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. What are some of the other things we should talk about today?
Well, just in people's awareness, that's the one thing. We tend to get people who are already at their wits' end, as you said earlier, and I wish we could, because we are humans, we're definitely more reactive to things than we are proactive. I wish that people could understand more about what's going on in their body from a really basic standpoint. We get them in and then we educate them to that degree, and then they end up the way we want them, but I'd like more people to be more preventative. So what happens is when they come in, I'd like people to start coming in who think they want to be pain-free 10 years from now. Because I don't care. I see it every day when I talk to people about what I do. Every person, a lot of people say, I don't have anything wrong. But they'll never take me up on a $1,000 bet that I can find 10 things wrong in their body on my table. And, we just become complacent to it because our brain is amazing at keeping us as unaware of all these things as possible. And, that's a really positive thing. But on the flip side, my average client's over 50. I see a lot of young people. I work on some children who have more things than 60-year-olds, believe it or not. But that's because they have a really high metabolism. At 60, we have a very low metabolism. So I always tell people, and I have to be careful when I'm speaking to 70-year-olds, but the life expectancy now is 80. So I look at things very visually. At 40, if think we're born with a full tank of gas. That's metabolic energy. At 40, we have half a tank of gas. At 60, we have a quarter. So when you get into the later stages of life, your metabolism is slower, and we become more symptomatic of all the things we could have combated much earlier in life.
And when we hurt ourselves at our age, when we're older, it hurts a lot.
And it takes longer to recover.
It takes a longer time to fix. They can help you when other people can't. Their phone number direct, it's 480-922-4499. The website is Mojo Physio. And I'm going to let everybody keep on calling throughout the rest of the show. It's whether it's for you or for someone else. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Get yourself entered in to win a 1-hour treatment. That's a $90 value free to you.